What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Talking Sports Podcast right here on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. I am your host, Peter DiBiasi. As always, make sure you guys follow us on social media at Talking Sports PD, on X or on Instagram. All those links are in the description. That obviously gives you guys all our content, all our posts, all our prediction. It also lets you guys know when we are posting podcasts, if it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Make sure you guys follow us on social media, on X and on Instagram at Talking Sports PD. And as always, we are proudly sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Use code TSP for a 100% deposit match up to $100 on Underdog Fantasy. They're a great website. There's no better time to get on Underdog Fantasy right now. I'm going to be talking about the NBA Finals, as you can tell by the title, as you can tell by the thumbnail, but we just had the PGA Championship, golf's in full swing, NHL playoffs, US Opens coming up, and obviously the MLB season. So get on to Underdog Fantasy. Link is in the description, and make sure you use code TSP for a 100% deposit match up to $100. I'm helping you guys out there. Okay, NBA Finals time. We haven't done an NBA playoff video, right? We haven't done any content, video or audio-wise, surrounding the NBA playoffs. We've done graphics. We've done predictions. So like what I just said, if you're not following us on X or if you're not following us on Instagram, you do not know that what we were predicting each round in the NBA finals, NBA playoffs. But let's talk about it, right? So I'm recording Sunday morning at 10:19 a.m., June 1st. You guys will be seeing this Monday morning or sometime Monday regarding the NBA Finals preview. So Indiana Pacers 1-6 last night. They defeated the New York Knicks. A couple days ago, the Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games. Pretty much a dominant series by the Thunder. Before we get into it, via FanDuel right now, I know we're not sponsored by FanDuel, but via FanDuel, the Thunder are minus 700 on FanDuel right now to win the NBA Finals. That's pretty astonishing right there, what that line looks like. Pacers at plus 500. And then the over-under series right now, it is favored to go under 5.5 at minus 128. If you think it's going over 5.5, if you think we are getting to a 6 game in this series, that is at plus 104. So it is favored to the under. So right now, the favorite is to go under 5.5. And the favorite, obviously, like I said, minus 700 for the Thunder. Let's talk about the Pacers, right? They defeated the New York Knicks in 6 games. I picked the Knicks to win that series. I did. I'm going to be crystal clear here. I picked the Knicks to win that series. And obviously, they did not. The Indiana Pacers are a fun team, right? They aren't your typical team with a ton of superstars, right? I like Tyrese Halliburton. I do. I think he's a very good point guard. He's an elite point guard. He's not what you would say a top 5, top 6, top 7 player. He is getting there because he's been performing at a high level. He had a tremendous game 4, struggled in game 5, which is why he's not a superstar. He has those ebbs and flows. And then you have Pascal Siakam, who won NBA Eastern Conference Finals MVP, who is one of the more underrated all-star or elite players in this league right now, right? Like, he was a key piece in that Toronto Raptors final a handful of years ago of Kawhi Leonard. He was a key piece there, right? And he bounced around, and now he's in Indiana, and he's found a home, right? The Pacers, people forget, were in this spot or in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They just got swept by the Boston Celtics. So you guys probably don't really remember that series because it wasn't really a series, right? Like, the Celtics win in 4, they sweep. That's not really a series. It is, but it isn't. The Indiana Pacers had a different mindset this time, right? They make one of the greatest comebacks of all time in game 1, down 14 with 2:45 in Madison Square Garden, and they come out and win. They win game 2, they lose game 3, they win game 4. The Knicks look dominant in game 5, and you're thinking, okay, Knicks dominant in game 5. We're going back to Indiana, where the Knicks actually have been a better road team in this postseason than they have been at home, which, when you think about it, you would think the Knicks would be better at MSG, which maybe is not as good as a home court advantage as people want to claim it is. The Knicks have been better on the road than they've been better at home than they have at home. And the Pacers utterly dominate that game 6. Knicks with no defense. Cat doesn't show up. Jalen Brunson doesn't show up. Basically, no one showed up from the Knicks, and the Pacers dominated game 6, and they're going to the NBA Finals. How they match up with the Thunder is interesting. The Pacers are going to have to play their game, and that's what got them to this spot. Their game is they are going to run on you. They are going to play fast-paced offense, and they are going to push the tempo, and they are going to push the ball. And that's the Knicks struggled to stop that. And when you're playing against Oklahoma City Thunder, who are one of the greatest defensive teams by metrics of all time, right? We can argue eye test, whatever. Metric-wise, the Thunder are one of the best defensive teams we've ever seen in the history of the NBA, metric-wise. The Pacers cannot get into a half-court game, right? Like, they can't. I don't know if they have the guys outside of Tyrese Halliburton and outside of Pascal Siakam to get into a half-court game. What's going to help Indiana in this series is their ability to push the tempo and their depth, right? Their depth is not going to be as valuable in this series because Oklahoma City have just as good depth as the Pacers did. The Knicks did not. So the Pacers' depth is going to be crucial. Of course it is. It always is. But the advantage that they just had, they won't have the same advantage as they did against the Knicks as they will against the Thunder. It's just not going to happen. The Thunder are a really deep and talented team. Of course, they're minus 700 to make to win the championship right now. They're minus 700, which is a crazy number. But the Pacers are going to have to push their tempo. I think Miles Turner has to have a better series than he did, right? Isaiah Hartenstein's a good center. He's not Cat when it comes to Cat's offensive production, but Miles Turner was not good defensively at all in the NBA final, Eastern Conference Finals. I think he's going to have to be a rim protector, and he's going to have to be a presence down low because the Thunder of guys that can get into the lane and they can score at the rim, right? SGA, Jalen Williams. I don't need to start naming Thunder players that can score at the rim. Obviously, Chet Holmgren and all that kind of stuff. Isaiah Hartenstein doesn't offer the same offensive presence that Cat does, but I think Miles Turner has to be an impact player. I think he is their key for them in this series. I think if the Pacers want to hang with the Thunder and they want to have a chance to win an NBA championship here, Miles Turner is going to have to be a legit player and a legit presence. Obviously, you're going to need shots made from Benedict Mathurin, who was very good in the series. Aaron Nesmith, who we remember from Game 1 turned into prime Steph Curry. Ryan Nembhard. Like they are going to need those players to step up. Obviously, make shots, be consistent, and hit some outside shots. Like if they can get an Aaron Nesmith, like the Pacers won Game 1 against the Knicks for a couple of reasons. Obviously, the Knicks had a horrific collapse in the last couple of minutes, but Aaron Nesmith also made 6 threes, right? Like they are going to need those type of performances in this game if they want to have a chance to win this series. And finally, when it comes to the Pacers, right? Pascal Siakam was great. He was consistent. It was Game 2 that he was tremendous in, right? Like he's been consistent. He won Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Tyrese Halliburton is the best player on the Pacers. He is their best player. But he had a great Game 4, but what he did in Game 5 was a complete no-show. That cannot happen a single time if the Pacers want to win this series or want to be in this series. Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam have to show up every night. They have to play flawless. They do. If they don't, they will get blown out of the building. We saw when Ant didn't show up in a couple games in the Western Conference Finals. Timberwolves got blown out of the building when their star player didn't show up. So yes, the Pacers are going to need scoring from Aaron Nesmith, Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin. They are going to need Miles Turner to be a legit presence down low. But it comes down, and it always usually does, to Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. I trust Pascal Siakam to be a consistent all-star level player. I do. Tyrese Halliburton's ebbs and flows is going to do the Pacers in. I think he's a really good player. I don't think he's a superstar. He's probably a star, and he's obviously an all-star level point guard, and he played really well. But you cannot have what happened in Game 5 at all in this series. At all. It just can't happen, right? And I think if you're the Pacers, you want to push a tempo. You can't get in a half-court game, and you want to muck this up a little. And you are the underdog. Have that chip on your shoulder, but it comes down to Tyrese Halliburton being consistent game in and game out. And then obviously other guys have to contribute. Look, Rick Carlisle's a really good NBA coach, right? Like, I think the Pacers have this type of roster. It's a fun roster. I think this is going to be a fun series potentially. But I think the Pacers need to play their A game 1 through 10. No matter who it is, they have to play their A game. They didn't against the Knicks because the Knicks are not anywhere near where the Oklahoma City Thunder are, especially defensively. Like, the Knicks are a good offensive team, of course. Knicks defensively are horrendous is kind of mean. Below average defensively, Jalen Brunson and Cat are horrendous defenders, and the Pacers won't see that. They won't have that advantage in this series. So that's what I see with the Thunder, with the Pacers. I'm going to take a sip of water because I just talked for 10 minutes straight. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop a like, drop a comment. As always, we just hit 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. I really appreciate it. So, guys, drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Let's move on to the Thunder. I'm going to do a little less on the Thunder because I think we know how good this Thunder team is. I don't have to sit here and just be like, well, they're good at this. Well, they're good at that. You're going to be like, no shit, Pete. They're good at everything. They're minus 700 in the NBA Finals. Yeah, I know. I don't have to sit here and tell you that. But look, I honestly think when the Thunder went through the Western Conference, right? They played the Grizzlies, they played the Nuggets, and they played the Timberwolves. Their Western Conference Finals was Denver. That series went to 7, and Denver gave them trouble. And Denver gave them trouble because Denver has championship pedigree. That team has won a championship. And they also have Nikola Jokic, who's arguably the best player in the NBA. The Pacers don't have that, right? I like Miles Turner. I like Pascal Siakam. I do. They aren't Nikola Jokic, and you're probably thinking or listening right now, like, yeah, we know that, Pete, and I understand that. But that's what gave the Thunder trouble, right? A legit big man presence that the Nuggets kind of offer with Nikola Jokic. Look, I'm not an Aaron Gordon. I'm not saying Miles Turner has to be Nikola Jokic because he's not and he won't be. But that's why I hindered that Miles Turner has to be an impact player. He's the key for them in this NBA Finals. But the Thunder have one of the best defensive teams we have ever seen metric wise, right? That's a huge test for the Pacers. And if you look at the Thunder, right, I don't think like they're worried at all with this series. I think they match up very well against the Pacers. You have Jalen Williams. You have obviously Lou Dort, who's a legit on-ball defender. But obviously you have Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and you have SGA, who just won MVP. Those guys are going to do the bulk of the scoring. So, and I do think they match up very well. I think Chet versus Pascal Siakam could be a good matchup. I think you can move Lou Dort around. You can move Lou Dort onto Tyrese Halliburton. You can move Lou Dort onto Aaron Nesmith. Like, you can move guys around. I think the Thunder offer a lot of versatility. Obviously, Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be that clog in the middle. He's going to be the defender. He is not asked a lot offensively with the other three guys I just mentioned. Obviously, Alex Caruso is a great on-ball defender. So the thing that the Knicks could not do is the Knicks couldn't throw guys at the Knicks couldn't throw guys at Tyrese Halliburton, right? They really couldn't. They have a couple good defenders, but OG Anunoby didn't show up in this series. Mikal Bridges was not a good defensive player this year, and Josh Hart's not really an elite defender, and Jalen Brunson's not a defender at all. The Thunder can throw people at the Pacers that the Knicks could not, right? You can throw SGA at Tyrese Halliburton. You can throw Alex Caruso. You can throw Lou Dort. You can throw Jalen Williams. The Thunder's ability to switch defenders and rotate defensively has made them one of the best defensive teams this season and ever. So I think the Thunder's depth and the Thunder defensively is going to give the Pacers a ton of trouble, right? Obviously, they have SGA. Offensively, defensively, he's a superstar. I don't have to sit here and tell you how good SGA is. He just won the freaking MVP. I don't have to tell you that. Like, the Thunder are one of the better teams we've seen in more recent history. And I don't want to say like they're overhyped because they're not. And people that say that need to check their reality and probably have never watched a basketball game in their life. Or maybe they claim to, but they don't. I had people texting me yesterday that the Thunder are an overhyped team. Those people, no offense, you know who you are. You're probably not listening. You don't know what you're talking about, and probably should stop talking about sports. That's why I'm here, and you're not. I'm half joking. That was kind of mean. But no, look, the Thunder's ability to have three guys that are legit scorers in Jalen Williams, SGA, and Chet Holmgren, and then they throw defenders at you with Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Caruso, and Lou Dort. That is a recipe for a championship team. That's what the Thunder are. They swept the Grizzlies. The Nuggets were a great test. Like I said a minute ago, that was their Western Conference Finals. Then they beat the Timberwolves in 5. I picked the Thunder in 6. Probably was a little bit too generous for the Timberwolves, but I picked the Thunder in 6. Obviously, I thought the Thunder were going to win that series, and they ended up winning in 5. The Western Conference Finals was decided in the conference semis against Denver. That went to 7. I like the Nuggets recipe to beat the Thunder in that series. The Pacers do not offer that. They offer the guard play. Like, Tyrese Halliburton's better than Jamal Murray. Pascal Siakam's better than Aaron Gordon. They're missing Nikola Jokic. And not missing Nikola Jokic, the player. They're missing what that presence is in what Nikola Jokic brings to an NBA lineup. And I don't know if Miles Turner can do that. But like I said, The Thunder are super deep. Their ability to change defenders, their ability to rotate, and their depth and their amount of on-ball the defenders they have is astonishing. And then you pocket that with 3 legit offensive players that can go for, any of them can go for 30 plus any given night. That's a recipe for a championship. It really is. So enough of the Thunder. They're great. FanDuel's telling you they're great. The under 5.5 is the favorite in the amount of games to go this series. And then obviously the Thunder are minus 700 to win. So there's some value on the over 5.5, not a ton of value, but under 5.5 is where the favorite is according to FanDuel. Guys, NBA Finals prediction time. Drop down below who you guys got and then how many games, and maybe toss your MVP. But obviously, like, if the Thunder win, it's probably going to be SGA. If the Pacers win, it's going to be either Tyrese Halliburton or Pascal Siakam, right? So I think there's really probably 3 guys to an NBA Finals MVP. I guess you can throw Jalen Williams in there, but I would be shocked if he won over SGA. It's a little more political when it comes to the NBA Finals. Obviously, an SGA is a superstar and just won MVP. So it's a combination of both. But drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Key to the Pacers, I said, Miles Turner. Miles Turner has to be an impact center in this series if the Pacers want to have a chance. And then the Thunder, there's no one key player. I'll throw Chet Holmgren in because I think Pascal Siakam's a really good player and an all-star level player. I think Chet Holmgren's going to have a little bit of a test with Pascal Siakam that he did not have really. I guess Aaron Gordon, but not really. Didn't really have against, I guess, Jaren Jackson a little bit against the Grizzlies, and he didn't have that in the Western Conference Finals against the Timberwolves. So I think Chet Holmgren is the key to this series for the Thunder if they want to kind of take care of business. But the Thunder's ability to rotate guys and play on-ball defense is astonishing, in my opinion. Drop down below who you guys think is winning the NBA Finals and how many games. I'll give you guys my prediction. So a moment for pause and to be on the edge of your feet. So for my 2025 NBA Finals prediction, I am going with the Oklahoma City Thunder in 5 games. So I think the Thunder are going to win. I think they're going to win easy. So if I was a betting man, I'm not telling you guys to gamble, but I would take the under 5.5 games, which right now is at minus 128 on FanDuel. So I would say under 5.5. I'm not going to say why I think the Thunder. You guys know why I think the Thunder. Their ability to change defenders, their ability to play on-ball defense, and their 3 superstars, or superstars. Sorry, they're not all 3 superstars. SGA is a superstar, and Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren are really good NBA players. They're 3 guys that anyone can go for 30 plus on any given night. I don't know if the Pacers are ready for the defensive test that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to bring. They did not get that in the Knicks series. They did not. The Knicks defense was horrendous most of the season for a Tom Thibodeau defense, which was astonishing in my opinion. But the Knicks really had no one they could throw at Tyrese Halliburton or Pascal Siakam consistently. Like they showed roster-wise, you would think they would based off who's on their roster. Playing ability-wise and how they were playing into the series, into that series, the Knicks had no one that they could throw at those guys. The Thunder have a ton. I don't know if the Pacers are going to have enough third scoring consistently. Like Aaron Nesmith had open shots, but Andrew Nembhard I said Ryan Nembhard earlier. Sorry, not Ryan Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard had open shots. They aren't going to get that in this series. I would be shocked if this gets past 5 games. In my opinion, this might be a sweep, but I'm going with the Oklahoma City Thunder in 5, and obviously I'm going to SGA to win Finals MVP. I have no idea what those odds are, and I can't look because I don't have it in front of me, but obviously, yeah, this is an NBA Finals that I'm actually kind of intrigued for because it's not like your typical big markets, and I know fans are very weird about like, whoa, it's not a big market game, and I'm always like, well, you don't like make money off like TV ratings. Like, why do you care? Like I know fans are always like, well, this is not a big market game. Like it's not good for the ratings. I'm like, do you get paid off the ratings? Like if you're a TV executive, I understand. I get that. 99.9% of fans are not TV executives. So when I hear like, well, it's not a big finals, like ratings wise, I'm always like, why do you give a crap? Like who cares? Like I just want a good series. I don't care where these 2 teams are from. I really don't. Like obviously the Knicks being in the NBA Finals has an allure of New York, and me being from New York and all that kind of stuff it's really cool. But I'm not like super bummed it's Pacers Thunder. I'm more a little bummed that I think the Thunder are going to win in 5. I'm more bummed about that, not the markets, that I think the Thunder are too good. But the funny thing is, if the Thunder were playing the Knicks, if the Knicks ended up coming back and winning game 6 and then winning game 7, guess what my prediction would have been? It would have been Thunder in 5. Like, I wouldn't have changed the prediction. I think it was Thunder in 5. The only team that it would be a competitive series, in my opinion, would be if the Boston Celtics were fully healthy. If Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were playing at peak health, I think the Thunder would win, but I think it would be a 6 or 7 game series. I think it would be past 5 games. There was no one else in the Eastern Conference that I think could kind of go toe to toe with the Thunder. So Knicks win, Pacers win. It was still Thunder in 5. Okay, that is going to do it for us in my NBA Finals preview, guys. Like I said, drop a comment. Let me know who you guys got winning the NBA Finals and how many games. Always subscribe to the YouTube channel. We just hit 4,000 followers on 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on X and on Instagram at Talking Sports PD. And as always, we are sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Use code TSP for 100% deposit match up to $100. Link is in the description, as well as all our social media accounts, our YouTube link, Apple Podcast link, and our Spotify link. Guys, we are not going anywhere. In about a week and a half, the third major of the golf, I'm 2-0 and picking majors right now. I picked Rory McIlroy to win the Masters. You guys saw that on our podcast. I picked Scottie Scheffler to win the PGA Championship, and he did. So I'm 2-0 and picking majors this year, which is kind of cool. I didn't hit any last year. I was 0 for 4 last year, but I'm 2-0 this year. U.S. Open video will be dropping. U.S. Open video and podcast will be dropping shortly after this NBA Finals preview. So you guys don't want to go anywhere. We have a ton of content coming your way. NBA Finals preview, NBA Finals graphics, and then obviously our U.S. Open preview podcast. Guys, this is going to do it for us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy this NBA Finals series, and maybe it goes more than 5 games, and maybe we get a series. I don't think we do. I have Thunder in 5. That is going to do it for us. Enjoy the finals. I'll see you guys in our U.S. Open. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. That is going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.